So welcome. Welcome to this our little workshop on how to feel good in meditation. And let's wait a while, in case other people are still joining. Someone asked a question last time whether it's better to keep the eyes open or closed during meditation. And I typed in something underneath the video that it's whatever you find most effective. And generally, I recommend allowing the eyes to just be natural, because this is something I used to do. I used to shut my eyes for meditation, but I would hold. It was a bit too. I shut them too fast and forcefully, and I would. So I was kind of maintaining tension, and it wasn't a relaxed kind of closing of the eyes. So if you can allow the eyes to just be half open or naturally half open, and then if the eyes naturally want to close, then they can close over the kind of slowly. So this is one of the teachings I got from Qigong, that don't close the eyes fast, let them close slowly in a natural way. Like when you fall asleep reading a book, your eyes really slowly close, or you get used to just closing them fast. And when you're doing the resting the eyes exercise and dropping the urge to move the eyes, if your eyes are closed, then you might not be so aware of when your eyes are moving. If you can be still aware of when your eyes are moving, then it's okay. You can still do that exercise with the eyes closed. Okay. So in terms of how to feel good in meditation, one of the main things is it's about subtlety. It's about a gradient of feeling good. So it's not so much looking for you're feeling amazing or you're not feeling amazing. It's not a steep jump. It's a gradual increment where we're looking for small increments where you let go a bit of activity or tension or thinking, and then you feel a little bit better. You usually notice that you feel a little bit better after that. And feeling good is very much tied to activity, what activity we're making. That's the connection that we looked at in the previous workshops. So we're looking for small increments of feeling better. So it could be quite more subtle than you might be expecting. So what we're looking for is we're allowing thoughts or tension to naturally fall away in the meditation, and then we're just noticing if it feels better to do the thinking or to relax the thinking or activity. So that's the subtle thing we're looking for. Does it feel better doing lots of thinking, or does it feel better relaxing the thinking? And so it's an investigation. It's not a technique. You notice you drop some activity, then you notice if it feels better or not. And then you can add some activity and notice if that feels better or worse. So it's an investigation. And usually, and this is what I expect everyone would find usually, is if you relax a bit, then you feel a little bit better. That might not always be the case every time for everybody, but generally that's going to be the case. That's kind of a principle. And you might not even notice the small amount that you felt better might not be very noticeable to begin with. So it's kind of something you can get used to. It takes a while to get used to. And I've actually done I'll show you this simple graph that is in my practical guide to the mindfulness process, the gears of mindfulness. So this explains what I don't know if you can see this, if it's back to front. We've got unnecessary effort on one side, and we've got dissatisfaction on the other. So the more unnecessary effort, the more dissatisfaction, and the less unnecessary effort, less dissatisfaction. It's kind of very oversimplified, but that's what we're looking for. So if we make less unnecessary effort, we tend to feel a bit better. So that's the principle, the mindfulness principle that I put in my book here. That's what we're going to see if it works. If it doesn't work, then I'm very interested to hear from you. Come and send me a message, and we can have a one-to-one session for free or by donation. It maybe won't work for everybody straight away. Okay, let's try a few times. Let's go into it, into the training. So let's do a couple of minutes of waiting. Relaxing into your body and waiting until you notice a thought has popped up, and just allowing the thought just to fall away again naturally without clinging on to it or making a train of thoughts out of it. Just letting it drop away again, like a taxi that you don't get into, just comes and goes. And then noticing if what feels better, doing lots of thinking or letting go of the thinking. So just waiting until you notice a thought has popped up. Let it fall away naturally. Resting the eyes. Notice which feels better, the thinking or the relaxing of the thinking. Okay then. So if you did notice that by dropping the some mental or physical activity, you did feel a little bit better. You did very well. Did very well. That's not necessarily going to happen for everyone straight away, because we're looking at quite a subtle thing. And we can try that again for another few minutes. This time, maybe if you like, focusing on the physical movement. So rather than focusing on thinking, we can just rest the eyes wherever they land on in front of you. So with the eyes half open. And when the urge comes up to move the eyes, or any movement, allowing that just to fall away naturally, relaxing that urge to move the eyes, and just rest the eyes again. So it's a similar thing, but we're using the focusing on the physical side, and then noticing which feels better, which feels slightly better. If there is a feeling, if we notice anything, does it feel better to keep doing the physical activity, or does it feel better to relax the activity? And don't fix the eyes. Don't try and fix the eyes in one place. Just wherever the eyes naturally fall, whatever they fall on in front of you, letting them rest there. Don't worry if they move, but just relax them again afterwards. So let's try that for a few minutes. Noticing what's more enjoyable, what feels better, doing the activity or relaxing the activity. When the urge to move the eyes comes up, allowing it to relax away. Noticing if that feels a little bit better. Okay. So it's a bit like, so you may or you may not have noticed the relaxation affecting how we feel. We've only done a few minutes, and it's not the easiest. It's not necessarily the easiest thing. It can take a while stepping up. So this was the second gear of what I call the second gear of mindfulness. We didn't add an activity during the mindfulness process. We just relaxed directly what was going on. So if it's that, if we don't feel, if it's not easy to get into that, we can step up or down a gear. A good analogy is I like the analogy of a wind-up toy. So it's a bit like we're a wind-up toy. We've been doing lots of activity, maybe for years, without much relaxation, perhaps. And we're like a wind-up toy, which is really wound up, has been wound up a lot. And when we start doing mindfulness, there's not a lot we can do sometimes, apart from just letting that kind of the toy go. It's like a little toy car that you just have to let it run to unwind. Maybe hold it and the wheels just keep going round until it's unwound. That's what it can be like. That can be a bit uncomfortable. So there's this momentum of activity that builds up. So thinking as well carries a momentum, just kind of similar to physical activity. And this kind of can be a bit like a wind-up toy. There's different things you can do. You can just let it. So when we're doing the second gear or maybe the first gear of mindfulness, it can feel like there's a lot of tension or wound up activity, and it's hard to relax and enjoy relaxation. So it just takes time, really. It depends on how wound up how much it's being wound up. And if we step down a gear and add a gentle activity, that just basically makes it a bit less unpleasant, a bit easier to let that unwinding happen. Yeah, so adding a repetition of the word on the out breath, or simple repetitive mental or physical activity. Walking in nature is great. For example, simple repetition, easy to it's kind of easier just to be with your experience, and gives you a little bit more enjoyment naturally, rather than just sitting doing nothing, which can be a bit less kind of a bit more difficult. It's a bit easier if you just add this gentle activity. And that's what I call the first gear of mindfulness. And we've covered that in the previous workshops. And or you can step up a gear, and so if you step up to what I call the third gear of mindfulness, or high strength mindfulness, it's a bit like forcing that key in the wind up toy to unwind a bit faster. And that's why I call it the fast method of relaxation. So let's try stepping up to third gear for a few minutes. You can do this. Recommend to do this standing up. So we're going to add a forceful activity to help speed up the relaxation a bit. And if you didn't get a feeling of enjoyable relaxation so far, this is more more likely to feel some feeling of relief in the muscles afterwards, a good feeling of relief in the muscles, and that's what we're looking for with this. So you can stand. You can do it sitting with the spine upright, holding the arms out to each side, the hands at shoulder height. And it's quite a simple movement, very slow movement. So if you count, if you first stretching out slightly, and if you count for 30 seconds, bringing the hands in towards the body about an inch. Count 30 seconds. Relaxing the whole body. And if it's too much, don't strain yourself. You want to be able to use your arms the next day. And then after 30 seconds, start to very slowly stretch out, extend the arms out to each side fully, counting 30 seconds again. And this is working the shoulders and arms a bit more, placing a load on the body during the mindfulness process. So not doing more than you feel happy with. If it's too much, then you can bring the arms in, keep the hands up. Notice if you feel a good feeling of relief in the shoulders or arms, enjoyable feeling of relaxation when you relax that. And you may need to go a bit longer to get that feeling. This forces the awareness into the body, away from thinking, overthinking. It does that very effectively. Relaxing when you need to, relaxing the shoulders. We're looking to get a good burn in the muscles, but don't strain yourself. You don't need that much. It might feel a bit like weightlifting, the kind of exercise. And then when you're ready, just relaxing completely, noticing if there's a good feeling of relief in the shoulder muscles or arm muscles. Now that good feeling, everyone should get this. You might just need to keep going a bit longer if you didn't feel that. That good feeling of relaxation we can make that our meditation focus. So if we didn't have it before, we can now use that good feeling of relaxation in the muscles as our meditation focus. Let's do that for a few minutes. Relaxing, using that good feeling. If we feel that pleasant feeling of relief in the muscles of the shoulders of arms, just enjoying that feeling of enjoyable relaxation. And what we focus on tends to increase. So enjoy that feeling. And you can rest the eyes, or rest thinking. But we're mainly being guided by the good feeling, enjoyment. That's our meditation focus. Okay, so I'm coming back and hopefully hopefully you did feel some good feeling of relief in the shoulders or arm muscles. We stepped up from second gear to third gear and down again. And let me know how that went. And if that didn't work for you, if you didn't get into it, then get in touch, let me know. We can do a free one-to-one session, because it might not work for everybody. And it might not work for a while. It can be kind of a subtle thing we're working with, really. So it's all about stepping up and down the gears that you need, using the gear that you need at the time. That'll be different for everybody. So I think that's 30 minutes now. So try every day a 1-minute mindfulness session, maybe a few times a day if you can. Breaking up the activity with some stopping and relaxing. Thanks for joining me.